What would you do, woo-woo, for a new MacBook Pro? Seriously, guys, it has been a long time since we have seen a redesigned MacBook Pro. And I've been sitting here in my little wooden Grove-made notebook taking note of the things that I want to see in this updated machine. And funny enough, we've been getting a ton of rumors on Apple's new 2021 MacBook Pros. In this video, we're going to talk about what is likely to be seen in these updated models, debuting probably in the second half of this year. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the most common and likely MacBook Pro rumors. So we've seen rumors coming out of everywhere, some more reputable than others, but most of the rumors are starting to agree on a few things. So we're likely to get two different models of MacBook Pro, a 14-inch as well as the current 16-inch model. Especially on the lower end or the 14-inch unit, we're going to see smaller bezels than we currently see on the 13-inch units. That rumor has been prevalent for years, and it seems that 2021, it may actually come to fruition. Aside from just adding a 14-inch to the 16-inch model, we're also likely to get just a whole new design aesthetic. Apple's finally going to kind of reinvigorate, redesign the MacBook Pro with a more flat design that mimics Apple's more current design stylings. We see this with the current iPads, like even the new iPad Air, as well as the iPad Pros. Heck, even the new iPhone 12 line has that squared off design. So we're definitely looking to see a more flat, squared off design that Apple is employing on its other products. Now this one is sure to get a lot of people excited. Apple is returning to the time when they included ports on their machines. Now, I'm sorry for giving some backstory here, because a lot of you guys probably just want to know the facts, but really quick, there's like eras in Apple's machines as time goes on, and the current era, the current generation of MacBook Pro is seen as kind of a dark spot. Even just for the Mac in general, it's kind of been in this dark spot, and people have not loved them. Like, not only just like the keyboard woes that we've seen, but it's been other problems as well. I mean, Apple killed off, MagSafe on the MacBook Pros. Rest in peace, 2015 model. But we also lost, SD card slots. We lost Ethernet. Like, everything was just requiring dongles and adapters, and it hasn't been all bad for some people. I manage with a dock on my desk, and it's no big deal, but I know a lot of people this really frustrates. And it was a completely different time for Apple. But that seems to be where Apple is going back to, kind of like the resurgence of the Pro machine. I mean, when you had a Pro machine, you had FireWire, and you had Ethernet, and you had headphone jacks, and SD card slots, or expansion slots, all these things going on. I mean, video outputs. When Apple switched to, Thunderbolt 3 and everything, they ditched everything but those 4 ports, or 2 ports if you had one of the 13-inch models. And it was, people had opinions, for sure. But Apple seems to be bringing that back with this new generation machine, and I think that's going to be really exciting for a lot of people. Finally, like a Pro machine, Apple is sounding like they're going to be bringing back HDMI, the SD card slot, as well as possibly MagSafe. How MagSafe would work when it exists in the iPhone lineup. Again, we got the iPhone 12 with MagSafe on here. I don't know if it's going to allow it to coexist or if Apple will come up with a new name for it, which would be wonky, but Apple clearly knows what they're doing here. They know they've got their new Macs coming out, whether or not they have like the magnetic charging. It still may be a thing, but maybe they're going to, kind of employ MagSafe to do a bunch of other stuff rather than just charging. I don't know. That's entirely speculative, but it sounds like MagSafe is a possibility, as well as HDMI, as well as the SD card slot. A lot of those things that kind of pros would rely on without having to bring a bunch of adapters and dongles with them as they're moving about. So we seem to be entering a new phase of the Mac, kind of bringing it back to its glory days of the necessary ports that we need with an all-new design, smaller bezels, and all of that. We also may see the removal of the touch bar. I personally would be sad. I know a lot of you are going to hate me in the comments and say, no, get rid of it. They want the function keys back. I really like the touch bar, and I would be very sad if that happened. But I know a lot of you guys prefer the function keys out there, so that seems like that's a possibility here, fairly likely. Moving down my list of other things that we're going to see, processor. Obviously, these things are going to be running Apple's own processors, their own silicon on the inside. What are they going to call that new processor? We don't know. Is Apple going to jump to an M2 chip already? Barely even a year later, get an M2? Or are we going to see something like an M1X with like better graphics? Because, processing power is already pretty amazing for just a first processor. So if Apple would maybe do the M1X and bump graphic capabilities even further, that'd be pretty exciting. But regardless, Apple's clearly going to be running its own silicon on the inside. So that's it. That is everything we think we know so far on the updated MacBook Pros. These look like they're going to debut in Q3 of this year, which is kind of getting ready for back to school season, kind of right there where college and stuff is kind of getting in the swing of things. But yeah, new MacBook Pros look like they're on the horizon, a 14-inch and a 16-inch with smaller bezels, redesigned, possibly the removal of the touch bar. Of course, we're going to get new ports, SD card slots, HDMI, possibly return of MagSafe. Whole lot of exciting stuff coming down the line. So let me know, what do you guys think? What do you want to see in an updated MacBook Pro? Let me know in the comments, or better yet, let me know over on Twitter at Andrew_OSU, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.